Honda just signed one of the most coveted young riders in the paddock, and then did something strange. They refused to say where he sits. David Alonso, a Moto3 world champion still only 20, is a Honda MotoGP rider for 2027. Factory team or satellite, Honda would not say. In a paddock where every seat already has a name on it, that blank space is not paperwork waiting to be filled in. It is a message pointed straight at the men who already wear the badge. So why would Honda sign a genuine star and leave his garage blank on purpose? And which current Honda rider is meant to hear that silence and understand he is already gone? Here is what makes this land harder than a normal contract story. The grid for 2027 is not a clean sheet of paper. It is nearly full. Fabio Quartararo is already locked into the factory Honda garage. Johann Zarco is signed at LCR. Diogo Moreira has a Honda deal of his own. Every chair below Quartararo already carries a name. So when Honda adds a 20-year-old and refuses to say which chair he takes, they are not describing the future. They are quietly telling one of those names that his chair is being measured for somebody else. And 2027 is not just another season. It is the year the entire class resets to 850cc, the year Honda has staked its whole comeback on, which is exactly why the blank team line matters more than the signing. Start with who Honda actually bought. David Alonso is not a project. He is the rider who won the 2024 Moto3 title, with 14 wins in a single season, a number that pushed him past a record Valentino Rossi once held in the smallest class. He is the first Colombian ever to win a motorcycle world championship. He stepped up to Moto2, and in only his second season, he already sits fourth in the standings. This is not a teenager Honda is gambling on. This is a rider 3 factories chased, and 2 of them walked away. Now, the part Honda controlled and chose anyway. When the deal landed on the 21st of July, the announcement did not say Factory Honda. It did not say LCR. In Honda's own words, it said Team to be announced. They confirmed the rider, the multi-year length, the badge. They left one line blank. And in a contract world where teams race to reveal a rider and his garage in the same breath, that missing line was not an oversight. Somebody decided it should stay empty. So walk the grid the way Honda just forced everyone inside it to. Quartararo has 1 factory seat, locked. The second factory seat is now a straight fight between Alonso and Moreira. Zarco holds 1 seat down at LCR. That leaves a single seat for whoever loses the factory fight, and nothing at all for Luca Marini. 4 riders below Quartararo, 3 chairs between them. And the one party who could end that arithmetic with a single word, Honda itself, chose to say nothing. And here is the detail almost nobody flagged. Months before today, before any of this went public, Honda quietly moved Luca Marini's own crew chief, Christian Pupulin, across to Quartararo for 2027. The man who built Marini's garage was handed to the rider taking the factory seat next to the one still sitting open. You do not give a rider's crew chief to somebody else while you still plan to keep him. Marini's dismantling did not begin today. Today just made it public. And it is not one garage being taken apart. Honda is rebuilding its whole pit wall for the reset. Alberto Puig, who ran the factory team for years, steps aside at the end of this season. Everything below the badge is being moved or renamed, and the riders are the last pieces still wearing their old labels. Then, listen to the one team boss honest enough to describe the machine out loud. Lucio Cecchinello runs LCR, and he was asked about exactly this, the factory versus satellite question Honda keeps dangling. On the bikes, he waved it away. We have now basically the same material, the same parts, so there are not really any differences between the factory team and LCR, he said. Same bike, same parts. So if the machinery is identical, why does the team line matter at all? Cecchinello answered that too. It's a matter of a more prestigious place. This is without any doubt. And who hands out that prestige? He did not pretend it was his own call. Honda will decide, he said. 3 words. That is the whole story. The thing Honda refused to write onto Alonso's contract is not a bike or a budget. It is status. And status is the one thing Honda can grant, withhold, or claw back whenever it likes. There is one more piece, and it changes how the whole deal reads. When Alonso weighed his options, Ducati and Yamaha were both in the room. Both said no to the same thing, his demand to be a full factory rider. Honda said yes. So Honda paid the price two richer teams refused to pay, guaranteed a young rider factory status, and then went out of its way not to confirm that he has it. Sit with that for a second. They fought to hand him the seat, then they refused to name it. So step back and see what Honda actually built here. This was never really a signing. It was a signal. Every rider in a Honda garage below Quartararo woke up knowing a 20-year-old world champion now sits somewhere in their future, and Honda would not say whose chair he is warming. That is not succession planning. That is a countdown with the clock hidden. People looked at this and saw Honda locking down a star. Look again. Honda did not secure its future. It put its present on notice. The blank team line does the work a firing never could. Nobody gets told he is finished. Everybody gets told he might be. Marini hears it and sees his crew chief already gone. Zarco hears it and knows the kid may land beside him at LCR. Moreira hears it and knows he and Alonso are now fighting for the same factory seat. One signing and 3 careers begin negotiating against a kid who has not turned a single lap on a MotoGP bike. That is the flip. Honda did not announce who is arriving. It announced who should start worrying and then refused to say which of them it meant. So here is the verdict, and it is not the one Honda wants on the poster. Honda did not announce a promotion on the 21st of July. It announced an eviction it refuses to date. The signing is real. The talent is real. The 20-year-old is every bit as good as advertised. But the silence around his garage is the actual product. Honda took its most current, most exposed riders and made every one of them audition, not against each other, but against a signing they cannot see and cannot answer. Marini, Zarco, Moreira, not one of them was told he is done. All of them were told the clock is running, and the number on it belongs to Honda. And when a manufacturer that has spent years rebuilding finally makes its boldest move, and that move is built to unsettle its own side of the garage, you learn something about how Honda believes it climbs back, not by protecting the riders it already has, by reminding them every day until 2027 that they are replaceable. Alonso is the future. Honda just made sure its present can feel him breathing down its neck. So the real question is not which seat David Alonso takes. It is which current Honda rider was meant to hear this signing and quietly start packing. Who do you think Honda left in the dark on purpose? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video appearing on your screen right now.